black. What is black? Is it my race? Is it the color of my face in this narrow mindset of the world? Are you afraid of black? Are you afraid? Is the media painted in black? Is black fear? Tell me now.
To be around people you don't fuck with at this time in the world. Somebody who don't fuck with you, you ain't got no business around them at this time in the world, man. You gotta realize, man, this is a wicked world, and
you will live to see another day, and it can happen for you. Always remind yourself, whatever you consume.
Good Alim aliens, welcome to Free Mind Limited mini-series. This is a special episode. It's called The Re-Education. If we don't open our minds and expand our horizons and think outside of the box and search outside of the box and research outside of the box, things that we want to know about ourselves, it's important. So this episode specifically are clips of various people speaking on these clips with you, and I hope you enjoy.
We all have a recording playing in our mind, and some people don't realize the recording is wrong because they grew up with people that didn't teach them the right things. So it's I'm not attractive, I'm not talented, I can't do what they did, you know, and I'm not worthy. Those things until you change that recording, you'll never reach your destiny. You got to go back to plug it in. You are who God says you are, not who people say you are. And God says you're blessed, you're valuable. In Ephesians, He calls you a masterpiece. And I think you get that down on the inside. And again, it's not an arrogance.
What would you say is the one common characteristic that you find gets people to where they want to go?
The most important question is, the people get to where they want to go because they know where they want to go.
Oh, wow.
Most people don't know where they want to go. A lot of people are going and being driven by what they think they should do, what other people say they should do, what they have carried in their mind for a long time they should do. But the most important question you can ever ask yourself is, what do I really want?
Wow.
And the answer to that, once you can establish for yourself what the answer to that is, and have everything you do, every choice you make, move you in the direction of what you say your vision is.
Right.
Yeah. And when you do that, the forces of life rise up to meet you. The reason why most people have such chaotic lives is because they're living in chaos in their head. And as soon as you get clear...
Had something so long that you got used to not having it? Have you ever been alone so long that you stopped being lonely? Have you ever been in a crisis so long that it became your norm? When the Lord turned again our captivity, it was like a dream. And the Holy Spirit told me to tell you, you're gonna dream again. When I get through bringing you out, you're gonna be scared to believe it. It's gonna seem like it's somebody else. When I open up a door for you, it's gonna blow your mind. When I set you free, you're gonna say, is that me? I don't know what to think about it. Is this my house? Could this be my job? Could this be my husband? Is that my wife? You mean you would do that for me? God said, I'm gonna bless you till you will have to pinch yourself. God said, I'll blow your mind. I'll cause you to prosper. The contracts will close. The property will sell. The door will
King of Unbothered. And I felt like it was a natural posture that I've kind of held, but that word really gave it context. And as I started diving deeper into it, you know, because a lot of people feel like being unbothered is ignoring your emotions or just being like numb to things, but it's actually dealing with your emotions, but giving yourself an opportunity, you know, to be thoughtful, because, you know, rarely when we react towards life, does it serve us. So being unbothered is really about maintaining your own personal power, having emotional intelligence, and not allowing outside forces to, convince you to step outside of your own space. And there's so much power in that. So how I handle all of those situations is I just gave myself a beat every time. And I said, wait a minute. Now, if I did this, what could happen? Oh, maybe these things can happen and this thing can potentially happen. But if I actually take a beat and I say, well, what's going to be the best outcome for me? Then that's where I find myself being unbothered, because life is chess, not checkers. But, I think that's not even a whole statement. Life is about the decisions you make. And
you have to date people that's on the same level as you. And not meaning just like, oh, we make the same money, because you don't have to make the same money, but you have to be like level-minded. Okay. Me, I am the person that I like to spoil you. Mm-hmm. I love to spoil men. If I see something, I'm like, dang, that look good on him. I'm gonna get it. So I want a man to be like, dang. In the mall, like, dang, that'll look good on her. I need you to, reciprocate the energy that I'm gonna reciprocate. Because if you don't, then I'm gonna be mad all the time, because I'm like, dang, I want to do this for him, but I know he's not gonna want to.
Gets to the point where mama is suffering from dementia and these kinds of things. That's a test on her children. And the Holy Quran so beautifully teaches us how to respond to our mothers. It said, don't even say to your mother as much as like you're displeased with her. And then the Quran says, and lower your wing out of humility, and remember that she cared for you when you were young. When you didn't have the ability to care for yourself, mama washed your little dirty butt and rubbed you down and woke up in the middle of the night to take the cover off of your face, heard you crying, daddy snoring, wrecking the house with the vibration of the snore. But mama can't sleep. The baby needs something. When mama is not able to do what mama used to do, that's the test for the children, to step to the plate and look out for mama like mama and daddy looked out.
Don't run away. And number 2, be honest to yourself. Those 2 things, you should keep them in mind, and then just put time, effort into practice. I think is the key to step by step.
Gods on this planet, every man and every woman. We create life, we can take life, we control what goes into the sea, whether the fish can live or not. We decide if the trees can grow tall. We decide if the children will eat. We are very powerful beings on the planet Earth. People tend to play down our power. Well, don't worry about it. This next guy do it, or let's ask God above to do it. There's a lot of things that has to change on this planet Earth that only we can change. And until we embrace the fact that we are as powerful as we are as beings, we're going to continue to make the mistakes and allow the mistakes to be made, from our children to our adults to our elderly to whatever situation.
Because when I think about Joseph, he went through so much before he got into his promise. He was in jail. He had all these things happen to him. But when it got really bad and he gave up or wanted to give up, the dream reminded him that he can go on. So if it's in you and you can't shake it, and you dream about it, and when you want to walk away from it, you still dream. That's God telling you to keep going.
Keep going.
And if I can tell you anything else, please keep going. And destiny are tied into you. Just think, had you stopped, all of these people, where would we be going to worship and hear a positive message? Do you understand what I mean? So don't stop. Keep going. No matter what anybody says, you are worth it. And here's the thing about worthy. Get to worthy. Whatever you do, get to worthy. What does that mean? Understand that you are worth it. You deserve the good things. If God said simple, but don't give up. If you go to bed with it and you wake up with it and you can't shake it, you go get a job and that dream is still in the back of your head. You're working for somebody else, but that dream is still in the back of your head. You're getting up every morning, 5 in the morning, going on somebody else's job. Let me tell you something. Honor that person that you're working for. Listen, because when you're faithful over someone else's, God will give you your own. So make sure you honor the person that you're working for. But at the same time, don't give up. The mantra of the studio, my studio, is a place where even dreams
God is
believe.
healing you. Don't pick the scab. Okay? That may look like deactivate, unfollow, block. Y'all not talking to me. Why are you monitoring the very thing that almost crushed you? When God is healing you, don't pick the wound. Some of us think we're healed because our cut is now a scab. Negative. You're healed when you see the person who cut you and you don't want to cut them back. When I don't heal, I'll end up hurting the people I want to love back. But I'm projecting my fears of them wounding me on them. So the people God sent to my life to be healers, I won't let them heal me because I view them as possible offenders. I have to heal. I have to heal. I have to heal. When you don't heal, you will allow your insecurities, you'll twist them
psychologically. Physically, they are not superior to black people. So we got to find a way to control the money and the military. And if we got a bigger army and more money, then even the natural power won't be able to rule. You all right? Black people in Africa, we invented paper. It was called papyrus. That came from a fiber plant called the papyrus plant. And we would weave it together and write on top of it. We also used the papyrus for a natural form of birth control. We would take the papyrus, grind it down, mix it with aloe vera and honey, and produce a gel that knocked the urge of sex off of the original inhabitants. We had condoms back then, made of lamb skin instead of latex. On that papyrus plant was the first alphabet and the first form of writing called hieroglyphics. 1800 BC, we developed irrigation systems. 6,000 years before Christ, we knew how to negotiate water in one area of the Mesopotamia to a whole nother area of the Mesopotamia. We could bring water from Ethiopia all the way to Iraq to put water on areas to grow vegetation where rainfall wasn't sufficient. We knew the science of food and the color code that Allah God put on fruits and vegetables. So whenever we needed energy, we looked for red fruit and red vegetables. Whenever we felt like we were mentally fatigued, we went after the yellow fruits and vegetables, the squashes and the bananas. Whenever we needed to calm down and relax, we went after the blueberries and the eggplants and the grapes of the blue-colored family. Whenever we needed to help our digestive process, we went after the green vegetables and the green fruit to help our digestion. Whenever we felt disease sneaking up on us and we needed to boost our immune system, we ate the orange family. And the color coding of the fruits and vegetables, we knew it scientifically. Therefore, we ate to live on the motherland. We had the first universities called mystery schools. Al-Azhar University, Jesus went to it. I said Jesus went to it.
I believe in the creator because I think that the quantum physics and quantum mechanics proves we're living in a creation. However, somebody say Christ is king. You're going to find out. You understand what Christ is? Christ is you. We're all Christ. And until you understand that, you're going nowhere. We are all the Christ. Christ never said, Jesus never said he was coming back. He said the Christ would return. And by that he meant the consciousness, the Christ consciousness, the understanding of wisdom and ascension knowledge comes back and returns in every single person's mind. And by that method, the return is us. We are the second coming. Until you understand that, you're going nowhere.
Never depended on from a woman. Listen carefully. The thing that moves Sabi is that object on the horizon that always keeps showing up, not the love of woman. And this was given to me by my mother. My mother said, look, you remember this. The love that's going to secure you through life is the love that you offer yourself, not the love of a woman. That could come and go. I've been married 4 times. I came home and found my wife in bed with another man. I didn't even feel bad. I felt good. These are the things that we need to cultivate, not the dependency of another. Why should you be dependent on me for love? Yourself. That love that you have for you, that love would never die. But if you depend on me, why would you want to do that? Why would I even want the love of a woman when one day she tells me, well, I don't love you no more, but that's fine. Keep on stepping. But my friend John, he didn't do that. He killed himself on the ship. I was a merchant seaman. He killed himself. He jumped over the side of the ship.
Over that thing called love.
So your love, this word love, we need to re-examine that. Every woman I've been with, I love now.
Had an enemy till an enemy rises up right out of your own loins. You have not had an enemy until the woman that you sleep with or the man with whom you sleep becomes your mortal enemy. Because those closest to you observe you, learn your weaknesses, and then use your weaknesses with your enemies to help destroy. All of this is not have more money than black people because they've outworked us, nor because they've outthought us. How do you outwork a slave? And how do you outthink a pyramid builder? The reason why Caucasian people have more money than we have is because we've been placed in America on a real life Monopoly board. Okay, y'all don't remember the game of Monopoly. Y'all never played Monopoly? Don't you remember in Monopoly they gave you what? 2 500s, right? 2 100s, 4 50s, 6 20s, 5 10s, 5 5s, and what? 5 1s. Is that right? And when you play the game of Monopoly, you have 1 or 2 options as you move around the board. Either when you
Hope, man. Hope you gonna pay your goddamn rent. Hope your car work. Come on, man, ain't no but bullshit.
No, I'm just saying. I think a lot of people are being brainwashed.
It ain't got nothing to do with them.
Okay.
In here, if you say I'd like to go to Paris this year, but I can't afford, you just told 75 trillion cells to see to you don't get to Paris. Huh? That's who you are. And when you find that out, huh? When you find that out, when they told me I had the worst cancer you can find, huh? I told my son, I said, don't show that to your mother till after your sister get married. Then I gave her the report. How could they do this? I said, you better get out of your mind. I ain't going nowhere. I know I'm not going nowhere. If you hope don't work. You never heard no rich, powerful or say hope I'll win the war, but a fool. The real folks know they're gonna win the war before they start, except they don't count it.
They have a hard time liking you because they seen all the shit you went through and they trying to understand how the fuck you keep going when they getting beat up by the demons they created. Hey, don't beat yourself up to these people over here attacking you, man, thinking you this, that, and the other. You know who you are. Let these people think whatever and keep doing your work. At the end, you'll know who been working and you know who been making it look like they working. So don't let the ones that look like they working slow you down from doing your work.
You know the end is near. Check out this death chamber, this washing machine. They call it aquamation, where they liquefy the dead and then dump the remains down the drain to be recycled into the municipal water supply. And so people are drinking it, they're showering in it, they're doing their laundry in it, and this is happening in most states across the country. In most major cities, they're recycling dead people and feeding it to the living. What does that mean exactly? And they're grinding up the bones into powder. They call this calcium phosphate, which is going to be used for food processing, undoubtedly. Maybe in your vitamins. And so what are the implications when people start eating dead people, like cannibalism? Is there going to be kuru running around out there? Mad cow disease? What about in a spiritual sense? What is that like when you're eating and drinking dead people? Of course, they're spraying this on the food supply. Irrigation.
What's good, Al-Alim aliens? If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know. Leave a comment, share it, like it. Let the algorithm know that you are interested in more of what I have got to say. Please, I appreciate it. Subscribe now. All the details to contact me are below. Do that.